There comes a time when I won't belong.
Hi, this is Dina with Pretty Productive. Welcome back to my channel. I want to just take a moment and kind of reintroduce myself. We've gotten a lot of new subscribers that have joined us along this journey, which I so appreciate that you are taking time out of your busy lives to kind of follow along on my channel. So this channel is two things really, budgeting as well as planning. This will be my budgeting check-in for the first week of May. I am an all cash budgeter, meaning that every dollar has a home and a purpose. What I am trying out right now with my budget, after years of doing just cash envelopes, I am trying to only cash that I do is in my spending. I put that in my wallet, and then everything else gets moved onto my Capital One to pay it off, and that's what I use for all of my expenses. So this is kind of the first full month that I'll be doing this system. I kind of started it in April. I'm kind of getting the hang of it, kind of getting in the groove. So what you're going to see today is me take the cash that I spent from my envelopes, take them and put them back in my back to bank, and then cash stuff for week 2. The other part that I kind of just want to go over is a little bit about how I set up my budget. I do have budget videos that are more detailed, but the first week of the month I kind of clear out anything that was a pending or was an estimate, and I put in my actuals once all of my actual bills came in. So before we get into the cash stuffing, I just want to take a moment and go back to my setup in my Erin Condren 7x9 monthly deluxe. And then this is my worksheet that I use at the beginning of the month that kind of helps me break down where the money's going to go. So if you kind of follow along here, this is income. These are my fixed expenses that you have to pay no matter what. My variable expenses that change monthly, or, you know, based on if it's a quarterly bill, or like my electricity bill is starting to inch up to that $250 that I budget. Because we're going into the summer months. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. My subscriptions, my lifestyle, which are my cash envelopes. This in my budget is a 5-week month, so I definitely will be kind of using these a little bit, you know, like an average of $50 a week, but this of course is $250, so I'm kind of planning, it's really 4.5 weeks. So I always try to make it through the whole last week, even though it may be just a partial before we get paid again. My husband has retired from 25 years in law enforcement. He went back to work, and then in April he did also decide to go back into retirement. We are now kind of just waiting to see is he staying in retirement or not. I retired in November of 2020 and just went back to work around the holidays, just part-time, a very flexible part-time position that I'm enjoying. And what you will see somewhat coming out of our budget is paying the COBRA for our medical insurance, which is quite pricey. Then as far as my sinking funds, I just did a video where I took back $6,700 in cash for my cash envelopes. Some of them are, you know, still have cash in them for my sinking funds, but I really just felt like I had too much cash in my house. I wasn't comfortable with that. I was actually okay with it. My husband was not comfortable with it. So I just put that back into Capital One. I do have savings accounts set up for my sinking funds. I do have one big sinking fund now, which is all of the cash I took from my envelopes. And then I have other ones that I've already kind of been using for quite some time, like Christmas, medical, car maintenance, house rental, things like that I kept separate because I really kind of wanted to be able to track those expenses. So that's kind of a quick update, and so let's go ahead and get started. So there's a check mark next to all my sinking funds. So on the first of the month, I transfer $400 into my Capital One Christmas fund. And so my Capital One, if you're not really familiar with them, you can open up savings accounts and checking accounts attached with your credit card, and there's no fees for those. You don't have like a monthly fee or anything like that. And then when I use my card, I just transfer the money from my savings account on Capital One to pay off my card at Capital One. So automatically $400 goes into Christmas. And the way I come out with $400 is I decided I wanted to have $4,000 for Christmas. We had a really big Christmas last year. I went over. So I decided to just go ahead and plan for it this year. And then if I have money extra, great. So I took the number of months I had to save, which was 10. I divided it, the 4,000 by 10, and that came up to $400 per month that I need to put away to achieve my Christmas goal by November 1st, which is always my target. Birthdays is a cash envelope. Medical is an online account. None of my doctors take cash anymore. So I had to just go ahead and move that onto an online account and then pay my card. Vacation is a savings account attached to my credit union. And then subscriptions, dental, and date night were all cash stuffed. I do take 10% of mine and my husband's income every month and save that, and that's $970. That is also an automatic transfer on the first of the month. So as soon as the month rolls, I make sure that these are all set up and I've transferred the money in, because I don't want to keep it at my checking account and think I have more money than I do. And then my numbers are off. So in my last video when I reconciled my sinking funds, this is basically how I do it. Here is my goal for the sinking fund. The beginning balance, which is what I started with May. This is how I pull it out in cash. This, if it's blue highlighted, that means it is an online account. It's going to be a transfer into that account. And then on the bottom here, this is my cash envelope. So I still pull out my cash for my cash envelopes because I really want to maintain that budget. If it's blue, like giving or gas for car, I do keep those in the account and do those online. So that is where I came up with these numbers. So I'm trying to answer all the questions that I get, just so that you all know kind of what my method to my madness is. I have been budgeting. I feel like I've been budgeting my whole life, but that's not true. If you looked at my debt that we used to carry, it was not my whole life. I really got serious about budgeting in 2008, 2009. We became consumer debt free in beginning of 2020. And I was very thankful that we were, have completed most of this journey before everything kind of got very different with the pandemic. My husband and I were both very fortunate that we had jobs that were not impacted directly from the pandemic. We weren't, we didn't have hours eliminated. We were both already working from home, so there wasn't that situation. So we were very blessed and fortunate. My husband retired from law enforcement in December of 2019. I retired from a career in cosmetics in November of 2020. I had a severance package for a year, and that was finished January of 2022. So I just kind of want to catch everybody up. We have so many new people on this channel, which is amazing, and I am forever grateful that you guys are here with me. But I do also want to not assume that you all been with me from the beginning, because I do have many of you that have been with me from the beginning. So this is all information that you already know. So the only debt that we currently have is our mortgage. We did refinance that to a 10-year. We are tracking to pay that off as a 7-year. I just want it paid off. So I am 60 years old. My husband is 58. So we aren't yet ready for Social Security or Medicare. So every part of our income that we do now either goes into savings. Our retirements are really fully funded. We were both very fortunate that we had careers with companies that not only did we have a 401k but a pension, and then my husband, because he was in law enforcement, also had deferred comp as well as a medical spending account. So we were very fortunate with that we had long careers in industries that allowed us to accumulate cash for retirement in either our pension or 401k. So what we are working on right now for us is really to work on our fixed expenses, always make sure that we have enough money to cover those, still have savings, put money towards things like house reno, different vacations, things like that we want to do without dipping too much into our pensions and things like that. So because of my age, I can pull out without a penalty. My husband still cannot pull out because he is only 58. So that is, I think, a great catch up. So let's go ahead and get started. So I did lay down this kit from my shop, Pretty Productive. I did not do a monthly kit this month. I've been working a lot lately, and I honestly do not know how I did it when I worked full-time and had a shop and seemed to find time for other things. So I definitely have gotten out of the routine of being super organized and really intentional with my time because I've been retired. It's been fun. So this is the kit that I use. I kind of felt like it looked springy, summery, and I didn't think I had used it yet. So on this side is our income. So my husband and I both get paid once a month. I average them. It really has not changed. My one daughter pays $200. My other daughter pays $180. So our income is $10,080. Some of these bills have come in. So for electricity, I average $250 a month when I look at the total year. This month was $221. So that tells me that this will be my final month where I'm able to put a little bit behind into my kind of electricity sinking fund, because now my bills will all be over $250 for the next probably 4 or 5 months. And then trash and water, I had that before it came in, before I did this. My natural gas bill came in at $43. Pest control, we're going to have service this month, that's why it's $90. HOA is not due this month, so that's why I put $75. So all of my yearly bills, I lay out in the back of this planner. And what I do, if you have not seen my yearly layout, is I go through and I fill in for every month what that bill was. So that's where I estimate my like my Southwest gas, just my natural gas. Last year it was $38 for May. This year it was $43. Two things: we do have more appliances this year than we did last year that are natural gas, and two, the price of natural gas has gone up a little bit. Not as bad as gas. My water bill was $196 last year for May, and this year is $169. So we did find out we had a leak in our drip system, but last year we had drained our pool and gotten it ready for the summer. So I knew it was going to be high and I was expecting that, but I was not expecting it this time for May of 2022. Last year my electric bill was $210. This year it's $221. So we do have a different program. I don't know if that's why it's up, but this is where I kind of just gauge it to set it up, and knowing that some of these might go up a little bit or down a little bit, but at least gives me a starting point. So I take my electricity, I add it up for the year, I divide it by 12, and that's where I get my averages for each thing. So as an example, my electricity last year we paid $2,718. It averages at $227. I rolled it up to $250 because we were trending higher at the end of last year. I took things like my gas, We paid $410 in 2021, so an average of $34. Now I know in the winter months it's going to be a little higher, in the summer months it'll be a little bit lower. So that's kind of how I come up with my averages. So when I first start to set up my bill, I do look at my yearly of what I paid last year for that month, and then I kind of see if that's kind of in line with what I feel like it's going to be this year. Okay. Okay, so let's go with May. So I did not do a monthly kit. I think I mentioned that. I do put notes of what I have, like that I know I'm going to spend money. I have 2 birthdays this month. I have a friend's birthday. Medical insurance comes into my bill. It came out. We took our state refund and we paid the first month with that, and then we will be using our medical spending account for the next couple of months, and then Mother's Day. So those are all right. Okay. And then for my fixed expenses, everything has pretty much come in. They're fixed, so that means they're always the same. What's new to my budget this month, instead of the $302 that I've been budgeting for auto insurance, my husband has been paying some bills when he was working that have come into our household budget. So auto insurance is one. So now it's $630 instead of $303. Cable, I challenged him to bring that bill down. It was almost $190. And so we got rid of DirecTV, and now we're doing DirecTV streaming. So it's $100. So, I was really happy with that. Pretty much and everything. The only difference is that we don't have the boxes and the remotes, and it's all completely streamed. And then everything else pretty much. I did bring gas up. I finally today, which is Friday, picked up my car. My car has been in the body shop for 2 months after an accident that happened in February. And so I did bring gas up because I put premium in my car versus just regular unleaded. Oh my God, I can't say that tonight. Which is what I put into the rental car that I had. So I may go over the 300. I filled up today. It was $74 to fill up my tank. So I already know I'm going to have to bring that number up. It's not going to work for me this month. Okay, so let's get started with our transactions. I'm going to move this to the side. And so what I did this time, because I hadn't set this up yet, I went ahead and went through my credit cards. So these are all my May week 1 expenses. Some of them actually I took in April, but they just kind of are now coming in. I've highlighted them based on what they are as my color coding. And so we're going to lay those down first, and then we'll figure out what we have spent and what we need to bring back into from the cash envelope back to my back to bank. So the first one I want to do is actually back in April, because there are a couple days on this budget that ended up in April. So on the 29th, but even though it's April 29th, it was in my new budget. So went to Texas Roadhouse. What happened there? Let's do it this way. So I had Texas Roadhouse for $33. Gotta figure out what happened with that one. And then I had Panda Express on the 2nd. I have to kind of flip back and forth right now, which I hate doing. Panda Express on the 2nd. And those were my only 2. So I had 19 plus 33. I spent $52. So already I am $2 over. That's a great way to start. So eating out was 52. So I had $250, which was my budget, minus 52, $198. groceries all fell into this month. So I had fries on the 2nd. And I had Walmart on the 4th. So I had 110 minus 43 minus 41. So I'll go this way. 33, no. 43 and 41. 43 plus 41 is 84. So 700 minus 84 is 616. And I will have HelloFresh coming out this week because I'll have a delivery on Monday. And I had a delivery last week, but that came out of my April budget. Spending, I kind of did this a little differently this week, because I kind of thought I wasn't going to track it this time. I thought I would leave one category as just being able to spend. And then I decided no, that I would probably not do well with that. So on Monday I had the planner spot for 4. I had Amazon for 11. And then I had pretzel. This goes back to April. That was on the 30th. Burger King on the 8th. I'm sorry, Burger King for 8 on the 30th. And then I had Burger King for 7. Okay, I got up and went to yoga, and then on the way home I was so hungry I went to Burger King. But that was on Wednesday, it was not on Tuesday. Okay, so for spending, I spent 11 plus 4 plus 7. I actually had $16 left from last time in my wallet that I kind of just left there. Plus 8 plus 17, 47. I hate when it is like this for the month. I should just end it and then start all one month. Okay, so if I had 250 minus 47 is 203. Left in spending. Giving, I spent 100. I have 400 left. Personal care, I spent 14, and that was on Amazon. 200 minus 14 is 186. I did roll over money too, so I did not spend anything on my mom this week. My sister bought everything we needed. I did not spend out of miscellaneous. So I have 100. I didn't have anything unbudgeted, and entertainment I did not spend. So 100. So I'll take my remaining dollars and bring them down for week 2. So 616 in groceries, 198 in eating out, 203 in spending, giving 400, personal care 186, my mom 150, miscellaneous 100, nothing, and then budgeted and entertainment as 100. Okay, so that's where we are. Pretty overall a good week. Really only over $2 in eating out. So not a bad week so far. And now we get to actually put more money in our envelopes. So let's see here. Oh, I did forget to. I'll do that later. Okay, so this has kind of been my cheat sheet. Now that I have my transaction log set up, I will go back to using my planner and not this kind of little piece of paper, but this is helping me for right now. So for my first one, which is groceries, I need to take out, I think it was 86, right? 43 plus 41, 84. So 20, 40, 60, 80. And then I owe my back to bank $4. Just gonna make myself a note right here, back to bank 4. And then eating out, the entire 50 needs to go. And back to bank plus 2. And then spending is cash. Household, I did not spend. Did I? No, I did not. Cleaning, I haven't spent. Personal care, I need to take back 14. Huh. Okay. Okay, so there's the 6. Okay. And then I owe this 6. Makes sense in my mind. You're like, does it though? Really? Entertainment I haven't spent. Clothes I didn't spend. My mom, no. Medicine and miscellaneous. Okay. So this all goes back into the bank. I have not spent anything out of my sinking funds so far this month. So this goes back into the bank. And then 110 will go into groceries. 20, 40, 60, 81, and 10. And the way I came up with the 110, I took my monthly budget of 700. I subtracted what I was going to spend on HelloFresh this month. I went ahead and did the whole month, and then I divided the balance by the 5 weeks, and that's where I came up with 110 per week. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 110 goes into groceries. And I will let everything roll over, anything extra, until the end of the month, when it will go into my savings challenge. And eating out is 50, 20, 40, 50. Now we've had HelloFresh all this week. We did go out on date night, so I will we'll put that money back, but that was tonight, which is Friday night, so that will actually go into my next week budget. So eating out was 50, spending is 50. This will go into my wallet. Put that to the side. And then household, I funded completely. Cleaning is funded. Personal care gets 50. 40, 50. Entertainment gets 20. And I have 20. I'll update all my trackers. Let me just go back to personal care. I am getting my hair colored next month. No, now this is next week. So I have been trying to keep, building this one up. So currently I have, let me just sort this out a little bit. So 51, 150, 170, 190, 310, 310, 330, 350, 370, 381. Yeah, okay. I just have to just take off the 14 and add the 50, so I'll do that off camera. Entertainment I already added, so I had 20 and then I added another 20. Clothing was fully funded. My mom gets 30, 20, 30. Medicine gets 20. I did roll over money from last month. So now in medicine I have 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 180, 195. I do need to pick up a prescription, which is $45, so some of this is going to go pretty quickly. Miscellaneous gets 20. I do have 20. And then I had pulled out an extra 20 because I thought I was going to add to, what was I going to add to? Oh, I was going to add to planner because I had an extra 20. If you watched my last video, you know that I got really off and I was short money. So I put a 20 in and then I found the 20. So it was actually my savings challenge, which somebody, Eagle Eye, noticed that I was missing a 1. And then when I was going through and just making sure it was right, I also found an extra 20 in there. So, and under 25, I really had 45. So I don't know what happened, guys. But anyways, so this 20 right now, I am just going to put in my back to bank, and then it kind of will pay me back for the 20 that I put in just to reconcile everything. So that is my cash stuffing for this week. I will do a mid-month kind of evaluation on like how am I going to end the month, because with this it's a lot of going in and going out, and then I will show you what I'm going to do with my incremental income for the month of May. So I have some big goals for that money, and some things that I really want to fund, because if you saw this sheet, I only had 1,057 to go into sinking funds, which I normally have close to 2,000. So really having to adjust to bigger bills in auto insurance and cable. Some things that went up was like my car wash. I know my electricity is going to go up. So all of that kind of impacted what I was able to put into my sinking fund. So I did kind of make a priority list. Oh, I put it in here, of what I wanted to fund with my incremental income, just so that I had an idea, so I didn't start spending money when I wasn't, I didn't have the money yet. So this is what I would like to be able to put in and fund for, you know, with my incremental income. So 10% of my whole month goes into savings. Another 10% goes into taxes, because I didn't really take taxes out at the beginning of the year because I didn't think I was going to keep working. Now I've kind of been able to adjust it a little bit more. So I will have 4 paychecks in the month of May. And then this is where some of it's going to go after I take out tax money and I take out my savings. So I always think it's a good idea to have an idea of where you want the money to go before you start spending it, so that I don't spend it and then think, oh, I needed to put money into these categories. So that is my first week of May recap. If you have any questions at all, leave them down below. I am going to do my giveaway this month. I was going to put it as part of this video and do planning as part of my planning video, but I decided just to do 2 giveaways, first prize and a second prize and maybe a third prize. as all as one video, and then we'll go from there. So I think I have everything in now. I was waiting on one item which just came in today, so we are ready to put that together and announce that. So thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate your support, your comments, your feedback. If you have made it through this entire video, please put a emoji of a sack of money in the comment section, and that way I know you made it to the very end. So thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
There comes a time